Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Wednesday, the 20th of September, 2023. I'm Michael Thompson. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about, so let's get going. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed down 0.5% today to 7,163 points. There was really a lot of red on the board today, with consumer discretionary and industrials doing best over the day. The deepest falls were for energy and resources. BHP was down 1%, Woodside was down 2.1%. In terms of individual companies, there were very few standouts over the day. Best on the bourse was probably Sayona Mining, up 5%. The worst performer was Star Entertainment, down 6.6%. And Qantas as well, definitely worth a mention. It published its annual report today, revealing that former CEO Alan Joyce was paid $21.4 million as he exited. Up to $14.4 million is subject to clawback provisions. The Qantas board is also withholding bonuses until it receives the outcome of the competition watchdog inquiry into tickets sold for cancelled flights. Qantas' share price ended the day down 2.2%. Story number 2, a skilled migration overhaul is underway to help solve some of the national labour shortage. Businesses are potentially going to be able to bring in skilled workers paid $120,000 or more, and the visa application process will only take weeks. A migration review will soon be released by the federal government, but early details have been floated with industry, and media reports suggest we may see a tiered migration system with few restrictions for high-wage workers, but more regulation for low-paid workers, such as in the care sector, really for those under $70,000. Story number 3 today, former federal treasurer and current Nine Entertainment chairman Peter Costello has weighed into the Reserve Bank debate. Costello doesn't want the RBA to be required to equally consider full employment and price stability, which was a key recommendation of the review into the central bank. The dual goals of full employment and inflation targets are expected to be part of the new statement on the conduct of monetary policy. This is a task on Treasurer Jim Chalmers and new Governor Michelle Bullock's to-do list for the months ahead. But Costello says there's no reason to change the institutional arrangements, and making these two goals have equal weighting could risk watering down the importance of the current 2 to 3% inflation target. Now, Costello formalised this target in 1996 when he was in government. He told the Financial Review today that the government is responsible for full employment because it has the tools at its disposal to manage it, including the industrial relations system, tax, immigration and training. Story number 4, Sydney Airport is accusing United Arab Emirates located airlines of failing to use 50% of the capacity that they've been given. This amounts to more than 80 flights a week and follows the government's decision to refuse more for Qatar Airways, which uses all of its 28 flights. The airport's outgoing CEO, Jeff Colbert, has told a Senate inquiry that more than 14,000 landing slots weren't being used annually, as airlines are in general not actually using their full capacity. He said flights have returned to 90% of pre-pandemic levels, but airlines have been requesting 100% of slots or more, which means that 40 slots aren't being used every day from global airlines. A lot of numbers in that, but essentially it affects the ability of other airlines to get access. One more quick announcement as well from Sydney Airport today. New CEO incoming. The outgoing Transurban boss, Scott Charlton, will be taking up the role in December. Finally, story number 5, banks may be forced to maintain rural branches as part of their banking license operations. That is one idea that's being discussed by senators who raised the proposal during a public hearing for an inquiry into regional bank closures earlier today. Commonwealth Bank Chief Executive Matt Comyn pushed back on the suggestion, saying the bank is in consultation with mayors and local communities in the country and has agreements to maintain its rural network until 2026. And he thinks there's a potential commercial return as other banks close. But he did say that banking preferences have actually changed. And Australia Post, for example, is also supplying banking services to country residents. That's it for the afternoon report for Wednesday, the 20th of September 2023. We'll be back tomorrow morning with the Thursday edition of Fear and Greed Business News. I'm Michael Thompson. Enjoy your evening.